Ever wondered if smashing those buttons harder makes your attacks more potent in games? Well, stick around, folks. We're about to dive deep into the exhilarating world of gaming myths. Hey there, fellow adventurers. Welcome to the realm of pixelated legends and binary tales, where facts and fiction mix into a fascinating blend of myths. Today, we're embarking on a thrilling journey to debunk some of the most widespread gaming myths whispered in the hidden corners of cyberspace. Picture a universe where banging buttons harder equals to mightier attacks, where endless grinding magically morphs you into a gaming whiz, or where video games are the primary source of all violence. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? These are just a handful of the myths that have been floating around in the gaming cosmos, enchanting the minds of gamers and non-gamers alike. So are you pumped to debunk some myths? Strap in, because this is going to be an exhilarating ride. Let's plunge headfirst into the mythical universe of gaming, where truth is often more bizarre than fiction. Ever got the feeling that your character packs a heavier punch when you hammer those buttons harder? Well, let's test this myth, shall we? Now, this is a story as old as gaming itself. The idea that button mashing, the frantic and repeated smashing of buttons, somehow results in stronger attacks. Picture this. You're in the thick of a virtual battle, and in desperation you start hammering the controller with all your might. But does your on-screen avatar respond with superhuman strength? The straightforward answer is not really. Most games come with a set of preset commands that trigger specific actions, regardless of the force you exert. Your character's power is usually determined by in-game elements, not by how hard or fast you're pounding those buttons. Console developers and game designers would probably be grateful if you didn't try to push their hardware beyond its limits. So it turns out, your controller's lifespan is thankful that this myth is busted. Believe that clocking more hours on your beloved game equals unmatched skills? Think again, folks. This myth has been making rounds in the gaming world for ages, likely stemming from the simple notion that practice makes perfect. Sounds logical, doesn't it? The more time you dedicate to something, the better you should get at it. But hold on to your controllers, folks, because this myth is about to be shattered. Here's the scoop. It's not about the number of hours you pour into a game, but the quality of those hours. Skill enhancement is more about focused, deliberate practice. It's about comprehending the game's mechanics, learning from your blunders, and consistently striving to improve. You could spend 1,000 hours playing a game, but if those hours are spent mindlessly grinding or repeating the same actions, you're not really progressing. So it's not the hours that count, but how you utilize them. Another myth busted. Do video games truly breed violent behavior? It's time to tackle this contentious myth. Picture this, a heated debate that has been ongoing for decades, with one camp claiming that video games are the root of all evil, sparking violent behavior in our society. This belief is deeply rooted in the early days of gaming, when games like Mortal Kombat and Grand Theft Auto stirred up controversy with their explicit content. But let's step back and look at the broader picture. In a world where fiction and reality often blur, it's crucial to draw a clear line between the two. Do we blame movies for violence? Do we accuse books of inciting rebellion? No, we don't. So why do video games shoulder the brunt of this criticism? Numerous scientific studies have been conducted over the years to investigate the alleged link between video games and violent behavior. Let's delve into some of these findings, shall we? A study published in the Journal of Youth and Adolescence found that there was no significant link between violent video games and increased aggression in adolescence. In fact, the researchers suggested that the social interaction and cooperative play provided by video games could potentially have a positive impact on behavior. Then there's the research carried out by the Oxford Internet Institute, which found no correlation between aggressive behavior in teenagers and the amount of time spent playing violent video games. And let's not forget the Supreme Court ruling from 2011, where it was stated that research did not establish a compelling interest in banning the sale of violent video games to minors, given the lack of evidence linking them to harmful effects. So where does this leave us? Well, it's clear that the myth of video games causing violence is just that, a myth. It's a scapegoat, a red herring, a diversion from the real issues at hand. In the face of evidence, this myth crumbles too. Games don't create violence, folks. Are games merely a time sink with no real benefits? Let's bust this myth. The belief that gaming is a waste of time is as old as the medium itself. This idea is rooted in the notion that anything that doesn't have an immediate, tangible impact on our lives is a waste of precious time. But let's debunk this myth by highlighting the plethora of benefits gaming can bring. Cognitively, video games are a mental workout. They stimulate brain regions responsible for spatial navigation, memory formation, strategic planning, and fine motor skills. Emotionally, gaming can be a fantastic stress reliever and mood booster, providing an escape from the daily grind. Socially, online games offer a platform for interaction, collaboration, and forming friendships across the globe. Let's not forget, gaming is also a booming industry offering countless career opportunities, from game development to esports. So next time someone tells you gaming is a waste of time, you know what to say. Myth busted. Phew! What a wild ride through the land of gaming myths, right? We've certainly covered a lot of ground, so let's take a breather and recap. We've navigated the twists and turns of some of the most popular gaming myths and emerged victorious with our newfound knowledge. First, we debunked the myth of button mashing leading to powerful attacks. Sure, it might make you feel like a gaming pro, but the truth is, it's the strategy and skill that matter, not how fast you can smash those buttons. That's a relief for all of us who've ever worried about developing carpal tunnel from our rapid-fire button smashing. Next, we tackled the myth that more hours equals better skills. While practice is vital, it's not just about clocking in the hours. It's about quality over quantity, folks. Strategic play, understanding game mechanics, and learning from our mistakes are what truly level up our gaming skills. We then took on the big one, the myth that games cause violence. We explored numerous studies and found that there's no conclusive evidence to support this claim. Games, like any form of media, can influence us, but they don't turn us into violent beings. It's crucial to remember the distinction between the virtual and real world. Lastly, we addressed the myth that gaming is a waste of time. Far from it, games can stimulate our minds, foster social connections, and even enhance our problem-solving skills. Plus, they're a whole lot of fun. But the most important lesson we've learned today? That's the importance of critical thinking and research in the gaming community. Rumors and myths can spread like wildfire, but it's up to us to question, to investigate, and to seek the truth. And there you have it, folks. 4 popular gaming myths debunked. Remember, in the world of gaming, not everything you hear is true. Stay curious, gamers.